3, 2, 1, 0.
Listen, baby.
I think that people who want equality and freedom for women can call themselves feminists, no matter what other ideas they have.
It wasn't until I began to read more about history and understand that we hadn't just been given the vote. There was a century of battle and struggle that had gone into it. Only then did I hear words like feminism, suffragist, and so on.
You can never hang back and live your life. Just as democracy tends to evaporate when you stop fighting for it, feminist gains tend to evaporate when we stop fighting.
I think the biggest misperception about feminism is that because it's for women, it's against men.
I started questioning gender-based assumptions a long time ago. When I was 8, I was confused being called bossy because I wanted to direct the plays that we would put on for our parents, but the boys were not. When at 14, I started to be sexualized by certain elements of the media. When at 15, my girlfriends started dropping out of their beloved sports teams because they didn't want to appear muscly. When at 18, my male friends were unable to express their feelings. I decided that I was a feminist, and this seemed uncomplicated to me.
Well, I think it's interesting because I think what people think feminism is like women who are man haters and they go out and they just hate men. What I think feminism is, without giving an actual definition from a textbook, is when women want to sort of, look for equality. They want to live their life the same way that men live their lives, in the sense that, politically, economically, and socially.
The rumors are true. What they've been saying about me. I have to come clean. I, Lacey Green, am a feminist. What? You're a lesbian now? Man hater? Hairy armpits? Ain't it so? It's gonna be okay. Those are just stereotypes.
It's supposed to be the advocacy of equal rights between men, equal rights and opportunities between men and women.
Yes, I kick like a girl, and I swim like a girl, and I walk like a girl, and I wake up in the morning like a girl because I am a girl. And that's not something that I should be ashamed of. So I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm not a feminist. I just believe in equal rights, is something I said about a year ago. Little did I know, that is feminist.
I think it's equality for all people of all genders.
You know we don't want to take freedoms from you, just want our rights and nothing less.
It's equal rights for men and women, and having women being treated the same way as men.
We're glad a women's right to vote is here. But equality's next step is walking to the car without fear.
I would define it as the belief that women deserve the same and equal rights as men under all circumstances.
And I'm also a feminist. But wait, doesn't that mean you hate men? I don't know what that voice was. No, as a matter of fact, it doesn't mean that I hate men. I am a man, so that would be kind of silly. The definition of feminism that I work with, and most people who identify themselves as feminists work with, is the fight for the equality of the sexes. Yes, there is a very loud, very angry minority of people who claim the term, whose real goal is to just dethrone men and put women in the place, but that's the exact same problem.
Pretty much just equality for women and men.
Feminism is sexist. It's in the name. Feminism. Fem-inism. The reason that feminism is primarily concerned with sexism that women face, and not so much that men face, is because women are the minority or the oppressed group. For something to be considered oppression, it needs to have three components. It's in the national consciousness of the dominant culture, It's reinforced through the institutions of society, and there's an imbalance of economic, social, and political power. I would say that sexism against women is pretty embedded in the dominant culture. But
I think that social justice is still necessary today, and I think of feminism as probably within the umbrella of social justice. So are women being mistreated in ways that are based on their gender? Probably. I don't really see it as much in my day-to-day occurrences.
I think if you've been a group who has been sort of pushed back in your life, I think you always have to keep that fire ignited. It might not necessarily mean that you have to make fan the flames all the time, but I think that the fire always has to burn.
We call feminists the F word because people react to it as if someone's cursing them out. They're calling them a feminist. Like, what? What?
I think that, like, it's important to, like, make the distinction that, like, feminism is wanting girls to have the same rights as men, but also men to have the same rights as girls. Like, girls are in public, like, are allowed to cry, like, show emotion, and, like, guys are kind of, like, judged when they do that. So, like, feminism also wants them to be able to show their emotions and, like, not have to be, like, so, like, keep everything inside. But then at the same time, they also want girls to be able to walk down the street without being afraid to, like, of being raped, or girls to be able to, like, wear whatever they want whenever they want to.
So, let me ask you a question. Do you believe that men and women deserve equal opportunities? For example, if a man was applying for a job, do I deserve to be equally considered for that job even though I'm a female? If I get the job, do I deserve to be paid as much as he would have been paid if he got the job? If you answered no, why are you wasting your time watching this video when you could be spending it building a time machine back to the 50s? However, if you answered yes, you are a feminist.
Okay, I think feminism is equality for women. I think feminism is woman power, and you're supportive of women's rights.
So gotta resist all the gender roles, trying to put misogyny on parole.
I would define feminism as someone who wants to advocate for the equality between men and women.
The advocacy of women's rights on the grounds of political, social, and economic equality to men.
Let's clear up some misconceptions.
Well, feminism is just a bunch of girls getting together to be extreme about women's rights and how little rights they have. But here in America, that time period's over. Women have any equal rights as men.
I don't like to label myself, so I would say that I am in full support of females and males and people.
I wouldn't really define myself as a feminist because that's really extreme. I mean, I have my beliefs that men and women should be equal, but I'm not that extreme.
Feminism.
Well, I think they're like women who like don't wear bras and shave their armpits because they want to be like equal like men are. I mean, I think that there are some things that men can do that women can't, and some things that women can do that men can't. So there's a difference.
Well, you know, I like having a door open for me. I like my husband paying the bill, you know, those sorts of things. And feminists are just kind of radical and a little crazy in my opinion.
Feminism is for equality stuff, so if you're for equality, you're a feminist. No, I'm not a feminist.
I'm not, because personally I don't believe first world countries need feminism, and people are in the first world, men and women already have equal rights and opportunities.
Today, I just want to talk about this new issue that I just recently found out about called feminism. And it's one of my new favorite beliefs. Basically what it is it's this thing where you go around with signs and stuff and you get into arguments with random people on the street, basically. Yeah. I usually do that kind of stuff anyway. So I figured I may as well have a just cause to do it.
Me personally, I'm probably not a feminist because I don't really strive to bridge the gap between the sexes and everything and make everything equal. I kind of just sit there like a lump on a log. But yeah, so I don't consider myself a feminist.
I am a meninist. I am a proud meninist. Meninism is the male equivalent to feminism. We get together and we kind of argue for our rights, our side in the argument. Feminists make it seem like the men have no side. Now we have a side. Feminism and meninism are both for the same goal, just different sides. I mean, neither of them is good and neither of them is bad. Why have a group that won't listen to any other viewpoints?
I need feminism because I respect all humans, not just one gender. It's not about females being better than men. It's about women having the same rights as males. How does that not register in your brain? Is it that... Feminism. I don't need feminism because I'm not a delusional, disgusting, hypocritical man-hater. I respect men, and they respect really. You're not only going to blindly generalize multiple times, but you're also going to assume that men just automatically respect you. I'm a man, and I don't really respect what you said. Because guess what? You wouldn't have the right to vote without feminists. You wouldn't have the right to divorce a man without feminists. You wouldn't have anything near equal pay as men without feminists. For all we know, women would literally be treated like cattle without feminists.
Are we recording? So a while back I was on the Ellen show and Ellen asked me if I would call myself a feminist, and I said I absolutely would. And then recently I gave this interview with a journalist who's named Marlo Stern, and he asked me, well, what does that mean to you to be a feminist, or what does feminism mean to you? And I told him that to me it just means that your gender doesn't have to define who you are, that you can be whatever you want to be, whoever you want to be, regardless of your gender. And this interview got a lot of attention on the internet, which I thought was really cool. I think it's a good thing to talk about. And certainly there was a lot of support, and I'm very grateful for the people who are saying that it was cool that I would call myself a feminist. And then there's a lot of people out there who are sort of against the word feminism and who take it to mean a lot of different things. And I actually wasn't as aware of this. I even found a site called womenagainstfeminism.tumblr.com. And I actually really found it very interesting looking through that site and seeing what different people had to say who didn't identify with that word. You know, people would find that word feminism to be sort of anti-men or indicate that it was not right for a woman to do things that are traditionally considered the woman's place, like stay home and raise kids. And then there were some people know that we're saying that feminism made sense in the past, but it doesn't anymore because men and women are equal now. And I'm no expert, but I think the facts are pretty contrary to this. I think if you actually look at the evidence of like salaries for women versus salaries for men, at least in the United States, there's still a definite disparity. And that's just one of many examples. So it's complicated, and I grant that it's complicated, and I think it's a really great thing for us all to be talking about. And in the interest of furthering this conversation, I want to ask you guys what you think about this. What does that word, feminism, mean to you?
A feminist is a man or a woman who says, yes, there's a problem with gender as it is today, and we must fix it. We must do better.
Women can do as good of a job as men anywhere, or men can do as good of a job than women anywhere. So if that makes me a feminist, I guess I am.
I mean, I support like equal rights, so I guess, yeah, I'd be a feminist.
I'm a feminist because I believe in women's rights, have equal rights. Like, I believe that women should be paid the same as men because usually men get paid more for doing the same job. And I also believe that girls should be able to wear whatever they want without being called sluts.
I would consider myself a feminist because I believe all people, regardless of gender, sexual orientation, religion, anything, deserve equal rights.
No, I don't think I'm a feminist. I think that I support women, but I would say that there are some things that I think some feminists support that I would say are a little too extreme for me, but at the same time, I am 100% for equality for women. So it's kind of hard to say. I mean, I guess if it came down to the wire, would I be one? Probably.
I think feminism is recognizing that females have an equal role in society as men, and it includes things like equal pay for equal work, or treating them with the level of respect as citizens that men get.
I'm a feminist because I believe that everybody should have the same rights no matter their gender, and like Becca said, I think that it's not fair to women to pay them less for the exact same work. And especially with the idea of clothing, I think based on how someone reacts to a girl's clothing can tell a lot about them, because if it's hot outside, girls should be allowed to wear shorts no matter, and they shouldn't have to be afraid of wearing shorts. And if girls want to wear lots of clothing, that's fine too. Like, I don't think anyone should judge girls based on what they're wearing, and I think it happens a lot more than with guys because people just feel like entitled to tell girls what they can and cannot do. And I don't know, I think that's why I'm a feminist.
I think everyone's a feminist because everyone should believe in equality, like no matter, like, because we're all human anyway, so.
I'm a feminist because I believe in equal opportunities.
I am a feminist because I believe people have worth regardless of their gender.
I'm a feminist because I shouldn't be shamed for the clothes I choose to wear.
I am a feminist because I believe everyone should be able to feel good about themselves.
I'm a feminist because the worst thing you can call a man is a woman.
I am a feminist because people still ask what the victim was wearing.
I am a feminist because I shouldn't have to work harder for a job where I will get paid less.
I am a feminist because I am tired of being second